Hello, hello. Good day, everyone. What's going on? My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an Americanteer. Yeah, I changed up the flag today, and today is November the 5th, 2022. And so here we are. We're moving along, having fun. The other day I was at the supermarket picking up some supplies, and no, I could notice that the prices have gone up too. So I was only just picking up a handful of items, But a while back, the grocery store got rid of the hand baskets. The baskets you can just hold up and walk around, and if you're only going to get like 5 or 6 items, you can fit it in there and just without the big shopping cart, right? But they got rid of them. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was just a pain in the butt for them. I'm not sure. They just decided that that their customers did not need that convenience. They were like, no one's gonna walk around with some kind of hand cart now. They're gonna have to push big carts, whether they're getting 2 items or 20 items, or they can just carry it, in their arms, which I don't recommend doing because I've seen a lot of people try to do that and they overstack, So maybe going in to get 2 items to carry, you think you're just going to carry it out, you end up getting 5 items, and it's like this, thing going on here. And then later on, in this recent future, past, they were getting rid of the cashiers and incorporating self-checkout. So they were like, okay, you can't have the hand baskets, and it'd be best if you checked it out yourself, and bagged it yourself and put it in your cart and move along, and without our assistance. I'm scared, the technology part of what's going on there is not, I don't see that as a good thing, because we just are eliminating jobs from people who used to, pay their rent being a cashier at supermarkets, but now they're no longer, cashier jobs are disappearing. Technology's stepping in. And we've talked about this in the past about technology doing damage to American people by taking jobs. But that's not my point. The point is that, so we're just, so I walk in after the big cart, the big, shopping cart, get my stuff, check out my stuff, put it in the bag, put it back in the basket, my cart, and move along. And I'm happy to do that. It's like I've gotten used to it. And, I take my time. I'm a slow mover. I'm not like all frantic and trying to scan and get out of there. No, I'm just kind of like, I check out the item and I, boop, put it in the bag. And then I have my bag strategy. It's not like I'm just going to throw everything in a bag. I grab the heavy items first, scan them, put them at the bottom of the bag, and I work up to the lighter weight stuff. And maybe, I have my bag of chips on top, stuff like that, So, it's a matter, it takes a few minutes to process. And I'm okay, that's why I'm okay with it. And sometimes, and I used to love going to just the cashier all the time. Even when they first, started the self-checkout, I would look at the self-checkout and be like, nah, I'll pass. I'll get like real people helping me. I'm all about that, But that's also a gamble too, because now, and no matter, just depending on who you get as a cashier, it's a 50-50 gamble. Like it could be someone that has good vibes, good energy, and and would say things like hello or thanks for shopping. Just a simple greeting and goodbye, which is what they normally do. But sometimes they just don't even do that. They're just frowning. They're have negative energy. They just they don't want to make any kind of contact. They just want to scan your stuff, put it in the bag, and make you pay and move along, without any hellos or goodbyes or whatever. And just, they seem like they're very unhappy, disgruntled employees, which makes my shopping experience not very good. I could walk in the front doors in a good mood, grab my stuff, and then by the time I walk out the door, I'm in a kind of in a bad mood, or just have that that energy, that bad energy. My last engagement is kind of like sticking with me, like, oh yuck. That's I don't like it when people are like that. They're just act upset or disgruntled. Speaking of that, in my own Americanteer way, I've noticed that with deli people, like going up to the deli counter with me, and the service with that, and people, I have to wait and wait and wait and wait sometimes. There are some cool deli people who acknowledge me really fast and ask me what I need and do that, kind of cut up my turkey or ham or whatever it is that I'm looking to get. And then there's a lot more people that work in the deli who are just, they are very, I don't know if they're unhappy or if they just don't care or they just want to be social discrimination people. Like, oh, you don't look like someone I want to help anyways, so I'm just going to kind of ignore you. Or I don't know. I just don't get it. But I've run across some horrible, bad energy with these with the deli guys, and like about 3 weeks ago, I actually said something to the guy because he had his back to me, and I was standing there. You see, that's the thing, is that they were just trying to pretend like they don't exceed. They'll just kind of do things to pretend like they don't know you're there. You have to really get their attention. And then when you do, they're just like, oh, you need help. Oh, I see now. And just being weird. And that makes me feel weird too, because they're kind of putting that energy out there and hitting me with their messed up, unhappy energy, I guess. And that makes me kind of like thinking, like, who are you to do that? What gives you the right to mess around with other people? You don't have my permission to mess with my energy like that. What gives you the right to even think you can do that? And people just think they can. They just think they can second class people or treat them like they're invisible, and if you do get their attention, they're not very okay with that, and they just kind of perform their duties. But this one guy was doing that, helped me with his, and he was like, and I didn't even try to even get his attention. I walked around, where one down an aisle, saw a lady that worked there, and I said, hey, can I get some help in deli? Because I didn't even want to, I can already, it's happened so many times that I'm just tired of it. I'm sick of it. It's just, because it is sickening. It's just bad for your soul. It's just bad for your heart. It's just bad, bad energy. What's that back. Give me a break. So the guy, she goes back there and tells the guy, like, hey, you need to tend the counter. There's somebody that needs help. And he looks back and he's all like, oh, and then he comes, up and, and I'm thinking, like, in my head, I said, I hope he changes gloves, because they're wearing their gloves. And I don't know what he was doing back there with the sink. But I'm like, man, if he's going to handle anything, he's got to change gloves because this is weird. So it made me uncomfortable that it was already kind of just like, oh, like I don't care, And so I tell him to look at the ham. I think I was getting some deli ham, and I pick it out. He goes to cut it and come back with this bad energy attitude, right? So I just finally speak up, and I just like, dude, what is going on with you? I'm like, I'm sorry I'm here. Sorry I need help, having you cut my deli. Sorry to pull you away from your serious working, whatever you're doing back there, to help me. I feel so very, like, low on the totem pole. Like what you were doing back there in that sink was way important, and he was like, no, man, I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, to help people, and I'm like, that's a lie. That's just a lie. I said, and you just put out this really bad energy too. Your vibe is so like negative. And then he started kind of like trying to come back at me with, kind of making fun of it, what I just said. And just like, oh, you don't like my energy and my vibe, huh? But at that point, then I liked his energy and boy, because at least he smiled when he said that, And I said, well, I didn't even think about what he said. I was just like, well, at least you're smiling now, because I had to say something about it, and I had to, just kind of instigate this conversation that was completely unnecessary, because I'm reacting to your actions in my own way. As an Americanteer, I'm just letting you know enough is enough. We got to start being nicer with each other. And if you work in a deli department, any shopping stores, be nice, man. What is up with that? What is up with working is that just such a horrible, low-paying job that, that when you're there, you're just like, I'm just here to ignore people and as much as I can because I don't want to help them, even though that's my job, even though, they know that is really their job, and, but it's the last thing they are going to do, and I don't think anybody, I don't know if other people can relate to me or not, and if you can, just let me know in the comments, I guess, because it is very unpleasant. And that's not even what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about that shopping cart thing, and I'll talk about the shopping cart thing later, and how that is just as weird as going to the deli section. Now, your experience with the deli section may be just awesome, right? You're not being ignored. You're not being socially discriminated against. You're being treated like a real human customer with a smile, and because, you just look like you, I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know how they judge things. But so for you, it may be like, you may be looking at me thinking like, what are you talking about? But for a lot of other people, I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. It's just a horrible experience. And we got to acknowledge that. We got to stop that stuff, man. I mean, we really got to let these people know That's not okay. That we are not okay with being treated in that kind of way, and they're already, already treating us in a messed up way, anyways, by making us check out our own stuff, and take away our baskets, things like that, and if you really think about, that's a small picture of stuff, and if you think about it, that is really the bigger picture too, that's the policy of America right now. And we as Americans have to pay that stupid, dumb price because they just write it into policy. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want, I guess they just don't want to deal with the baskets, and, and I get it and I don't get it, what I'm saying? It's just, it's just like, they're almost saying like, oh, we'll just take this away. Oh, we'll make them do that, and we'll save money by, stripping. Eventually, I just see more and more of those employees walking around with big carts, big crates with like 5 different, like 10 bins pretty much. It's like a pretty big thing going on there. And they're rolling around the store with their sheet or iPad or whatever, and putting food and grabbing items off the shelf for people who, I guess, ordered online are going to pick it up, and so they are slowly taking over. In fact, I think grocery stores want to turn their store into that, like a little warehouse of sorts, and you can't even go into it. You have to go on your phone or go on the computer, place your order, and they bring it out to you in a bag or whatever, and they just take it from your credit card or your debit card or whatever. You make payments, and what and if that's the direction, big if that's the direction they're trying to go into for the future of shopping, I don't want anything to do with that. I'd like, if I say 3 peaches, that means I have to look. I mean, I get no peaches, if I'm thinking 3, and I look at them and I feel them and I kind of observe them. And I think like, yeah, these peaches don't look like they're gonna cut it, man. And do I expect if I was placing an order online saying 3 peaches, you think the person, the employee and teenager, is going to look at the peaches and be like, well, I don't know if this guy's going to like these peaches or not. No, they're not going to think. They're just going to see peaches, grab the bag, throw 3 peaches in there, put it in the basket, and move along. So they're not, really shopping, tomatoes or my product like broccoli, stuff like that, fresh produce or meat, and so, if I say I need, they're just going to grab it and put it in the thing. They're not going to look at it, I don't know if they look at expiration dates, or if they're really shopping, or if they're just doing their robotic kind of job, which is what I'm assuming they're doing anyways by rolling that cart around, and, they're just being kind of robotic about it. And I think it almost looks like that is the future of shopping, which is, I don't know, man. If that is a little sneak peek of the future of shopping in grocery stores, I do not like that at all. I need to look and pick out my own food. Give me that power. Give me that honor. And do it with a friggin' smile. Man, don't be all upset and disgruntled about, providing a service and a product. Gee whiz, man. This is like, we gotta really convert over to being Americanteers. Like, everyone. We gotta get on that page. We gotta be nicer. Okay? Well, if you relate, that's cool. If you don't, that's okay. Just talking, but have an awesome, awesome day. Okay, and we'll talk later. Peace, love. Bye.